Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. The retro game that I want to look at today is Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo 64. There's also a DS port that I believe is pretty much the same, just upgraded visuals and everything. I played it way back in the day, but I haven't played it again, so I don't know the differences, so I'll be talking about the Nintendo 64 version specifically here. I love this game, and it was so much fun revisiting this one because this was a really classic game from my childhood. I didn't play Mario Kart 64 nearly as much as I played Diddy Kong Racing. That's because Diddy Kong Racing is probably the superior kart racer. And I think actually most people would say that Diddy Kong Racing is one of the best kart racers they've ever put out for a variety of reasons. Primarily for the awesome story mode that you have. You play in like a little hub world as one of the many characters. You can play as Conker, Diddy, Banjo, and a slew of other characters from Rare's catalog. I always play as Conker because I love him so much. And you get to explore a little world that you have. It's not super huge, but you can like go through and find little secrets. You can change between a cart, a little boat, and an airplane as well to explore more of the world, unlock new areas. You have 4 main areas to explore with races to complete in each area. It's kind of nice to have this little hub world and have this dude that will change your cart for you and also do races for you. He does like a little challenge to make sure you can understand the complexities of driving your cart or driving the little speedboat or driving your airplane. They offer a little extra challenge there. And you have races within each world. You have 4 races in each area, and then you get a boss fight against a really fast opponent that's very huge, typically like a Triceratops. You have a dragon in the last one. It's very, very fun. I like the idea of this a lot better than something that's just a kart racer. While Mario Kart 64 is fantastic and had a great like battle mode and versus mode, Diddy Kong Racing is just so much fun. It has so much life because it is so unique. The fact that you have different versions of like, you have a cart, you've got this little speedboat, the airplane, it changes the way that you approach some of the tracks. Some of them you can play as a cart and with the airplane and with the boat. And the way that you play them will change how the race goes on. It's really, really cool. And I like the kind of the differences between each track depending on which version of the cart that you choose to use. It's really fantastic. So once you get to the boss fights, you get an insanely fast, difficult opponent that typically has some kind of stage hazard that he throws your way. Triceratops is super fast. It's really punishing these fights are. These boss fights make sure that you have to drive the best you possibly can. Utilize all the mechanics. The mechanics in this game are also really unique. You can hold the B button to skid and get really tight turns, or to slow you down, of course, if you need to brake or reverse. You have boost panels that will give you a different boost based on what you're doing. So if you let go of the acceleration right before hitting the boost panel, you'll get a really fast boost. And if you leave it for a long enough period of time, you get a really long boost that shows a green flame behind your character, which is really cool. I actually didn't know this until I was trying to beat Wizpig at the end. I'll talk about him in a little bit here. I didn't even know this mechanic existed. If you just hold acceleration over these little boost panels, you get a purple flame, which is really fast, but it's not the fastest way to move around. So if you're letting go of it right before, you get an additional boost. It seems counterintuitive to let go of your acceleration, but it gives you a really nice speed boost here. It's really fantastic. They also have different variants of like the balloon or the power-ups from Mario Kart 64. So in this game, it's balloons. They're color-coded. The red ones are aggressive items where you can shoot missiles at people. If you get one red balloon, you get a single missile that doesn't home or anything like that. It's just you have to be precise and hit them with your missile. But if you save it up and hit another red balloon without firing it, you'll get a homing missile. If you wait even further, you'll get 10 regular missiles to fire off, which is kind of crazy. It's a nice upgrade pattern for being patient, not using your items super fast. Same goes for your other items. You have green balloons that are also aggressive items but don't shoot forward. They leave little traps. So the first one's like a little oil spill. The second one's a mine that blows up the character behind you and leaves them in tumble for longer. Third one's a bubble that leaves them suspended in the air and kills their acceleration completely. You also have boosts, the blue balloons. The blue balloons, if you get one, you'll get a nice decent boost. I think it's an orange boost if I'm not mistaken here, which is something you can get at the start of a race as well. If you time your starting thing, just like most kart racers, you have a little boost at the beginning. You get a very modest boost, but if you get the next one, it's a blue boost, and after that, it's a purple boost. So the upgrade system is really fantastic in this game. The way it rewards you for being patient with your item usage. I think that's a really unique mechanic that I haven't really seen anywhere else in any of these other kart racers. So I really like Diddy Kong Racing for that aspect. It makes you kind of have to gauge whether I should use this aggressive item now or if I should save it up and get a guaranteed guaranteed hit with a homing missile? Or should I save up and get better boost for later on? It's just a really intricate mechanic that makes you think more about each and every race. Now let's get back to the further mechanics. Once you beat all the levels in one area and beat the boss, you have the chance to go back through each area and do the silver coin challenge, which is a grueling thing where you have to get, I can't remember how many, 6, 8 silver coins, something like that. You have to get silver coins throughout the level and get first place in order to take the level in essence. So it's a really difficult challenge because you have to go out of your way or take alternate paths, usually that slow you down, in order to get all these silver coins, and then you have to win the race. So it really tests your ability to use all the mechanics, use all your items and everything, and it's just a really difficult thing to do. But it's very fun. Once you've beaten all 4 of them, you get a second boss fight with the same boss, and they are much harder this time. Absolutely ridiculous to go harder on these because these boss fights, I cannot stress how difficult they can be. I had so much trouble with some of these boss fights. Triceratops actually got first try. Not too hard. Not a crazy thing. The second boss fight around, it was a little bit harder, but it ended up being, I think, just a couple tries. The later bosses in the next 3 worlds that you have are so ridiculous. The dragon, specifically, the last world boss that I fought, is just so hard. The second fight especially is so hard. He leaves fire traps in the air. You're using an airplane to go around. He sends so many out, and their hitbox is so huge that you have to be very precise. And flying the airplane is the most imprecise vehicle that you can possibly have in this game. So infuriating. But once you finally beat them, it feels so good. And the second time you beat the boss, you get a piece of an amulet. Once you get all 4 of the amulets, you get to fight Wizpig, who is the most annoying boss ever, because not only do you have to race pretty much perfectly to beat him, you also don't have any items to attack him with. So the other bosses, you can use aggressive items, you can get boosts and everything. This one, you just have little zipper panels, the little boost panels on the floor. That's it. You have to be perfectly precise. This is where when I was fighting Wizpig, when I realized I didn't know the mechanics of the game, because I was going over these little boost pads and getting the purple flame, and I was slowing down in spots. I'm like, how are you ever supposed to catch him? Had to look up some tutorials online. Sure enough, you have to let go, get the green boost, and be precise with your driving at the same time. It is a ridiculous fight. Wizpig can WizPISS right off. That's how I feel about him. And not only do you have to fight him once, after you've beaten all the trophy races, which is like a Grand Prix type thing. If you're thinking Mario Kart 64, you do all 4 races. You have to get the most points in order to win the trophy. Once you get all 4 trophies, you've beaten all the silver challenges, and you've beaten Wizpig, you can face Wizpig again for a second race in space. And it is utterly ridiculous. I hate this guy so freaking much. It is so hard. But again, this is a game that rewards you for learning the mechanics of the game and learning how to persevere. So once you finally beat this final challenge of the game, it feels so amazing. I really love Diddy Kong Racing because it's not only just a fun kart racer, the AI is fairly intelligent, and the tracks are really well designed to the point that you really have to master your mechanics if you want to do well with this game. Rare really outdid themselves. It's such a shame that Rare ended up getting purchased by Xbox at the time that they did, because a sequel to Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong Racing for the Nintendo GameCube was in development, but of course got scrapped because now Nintendo doesn't have any relationship with the IP. It really sucked to see something like that go, because this could be, and would almost certainly, in my opinion, be the best kart racer on the market, even being better than Mario Kart like Double Dash, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We would have such a great Juggernaut franchise, and I'd love for them to bring that back in some regard somehow. I think Nintendo, if they made a nice deal with Microsoft, they absolutely could do this, but we'll have to see. I would really love to see the franchise come back in the future. Diddy Kong Racing is fantastic. It's still one of the best kart racers out today. I'm going to be giving Diddy Kong Racing a platinum rank. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.